You're my helper, huh? I sure hope I have sound. I hope people can hear me. It says I'm connected. Yeah, yeah. If not, I don't know what to do. Yeah. You can hear me. Okay. My phone is a part of this. If I turn my phone off, you cannot hear me. I don't understand why my phone has to be connected to this. But yay, we have sound. Good morning. You have reached our Mandala universes. My name is Pamela, and this is Kirby. And we're here to spend the next 30 minutes with you where we check in. How are you feeling today, Kirby? Where we check in, where we ground. I have a poem for you today, and then we draw mandalas. I think I can show them our mandalas, Kirby. Here, Kirby, there. There's some mandalas. And then we check out all in 30 minutes. If you want water, there you go. Here, you get water. So now I know the secret, Kirby. Yeah, I know the secret. The secret for sound. So thank you for tech support this morning for assisting me. And we figured it out. Yes, we did. We figured it out. Today is October 11th. I feel like myself again. I had some dental work done, and on Thursday, that's not your best shot, kiddo. No, the other way. The other way. Yeah. And yesterday was a be down on the sofa kind of day. But today, I feel like myself, which is really nice to feel like yourself. Yes, he is a sleek cat, Elaine. He is 12 pounds. He's not small. He's very interested. Well, my partner is in the home, so he doesn't have anybody's lap to sit in right now. And our routine is he would be sitting in my lap while I drink my coffee. And he didn't get that this morning, so he needs his attention. So good morning, Miss M. Good morning, Elaine. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Amy. We have a group. Yeah, we have a group here. Yes, he's very needy today. I think tuxedos are more affectionate than other cats. Yeah, we've got to get all of our attention in. Amy is checking in, feeling rested. How about you all? What is your check-ins this morning? Michelina's here. She's saying hi, Kirby. Hi, Michelina. Good morning. He didn't get his lap time this morning, Michelina, so he's wanting it now. All right, you gonna move around? So I have this little water cup, and he puts his paw in the water and then licks the water from his paw. I have never seen a cat do that. I was hoping he was going to do it, and I was going to try and get it on camera. It's the most unusual way to have intake water that I've ever seen. I don't know, maybe you've had a cat do that. Micheline says, great to hear your voice. Yes, it was take 2, but we've got my voice, and I've now figured out how to have a voice. Sometimes that's a lifelong lesson, right? Michelina is feeling strong and sore. You've been doing something physical, Mike, I'm guessing. And Sherilyn is saying good morning. And Sweet Kitty, good morning, Sherilyn. It's good to see you here. Miss M said, such a tired morning for me. Couldn't sleep. Did some charity sewing in the wee hours. I have done stuff like that where you just can't sleep. So you say, get up. And then you kind of out of it for the day. Maybe you have a time for a nap today. I hope so. Nicolina says, hey, Sherilyn. Sherilyn says, my cat scoops her kibble, puts it in her water bowl, scoops away kibble in her mouth. Cats crack me up. So she really wants wet food, and she's going to make it herself. Elaine says, oh, how did I not know that, Miss M? Haha. I wonder if you guys connected in the middle of the night. Charlene says, high maintenance kitty. This guy is definitely a high maintenance kitty. He is on Chinese supplements right now for anxiety. And he is now coming back to the cat that he used to be before I fostered those kittens in July. He sure wants the attention right now. Cracks me up. Yeah, some of our cats are high maintenance, huh? But we wouldn't trade him for anything, right? But he doesn't wake me up in the morning, so that's good. Kathy is checking in heartful. That's a nice feeling. A really nice feeling. Okay, Kirby, I'm going to start to do grounding. So you are going to have to be done with this little love fest, okay? We're going to go move you over here. Yep. There you go. Get to shake that off. Any other check-ins? I told you I check in feeling like me. That's my check-in today. I realize I am wired to be productive. I don't think that's always the best thing. I think a lot of that's conditioning of our country. And so I struggle when I have a down day of, oh, I'm being lazy or I should get something done, instead of just enjoying having the ability to be quiet, without any real repercussions, right? And just soak into that. I struggle. Kathy said, I had the best day relaxing and eating carbs with Amy and Marshall yesterday. Elaine is feeling determined. Well, after our meditation, I'm going to read from Rumi. I went looking on the bookcase, and Scott was gifted a collection of Rumi books. I'd never seen them on the bookcase. So I spent this morning perusing and found 2 poems. One I'm definitely reading. The other one, we'll see if I feel like it. Charlene says, I can totally relate to that. Busyness is part of my nature. Yeah. I think in this phase of my life, it's a learning for me to let that go. And I know, when you're in the certain phases of life, the working phase, going to school phase, raising children phase, taking care of parents phase, that's just isn't even an option. And so right this moment, I do have that option, and it could change tomorrow. So it's a good practice for me. So let's ground. I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit of movement here. Let's start by putting our hands and just kind of doing a little bit of massage on our head. Just kind of bringing blood flow to the skin that our hair sprouts from. Just feel right here back in the occipital. I think that's the occipital lobe back here. It feels really good. So find where it feels really good to you and just take a moment. Maybe you might experience body tingles. Taking a big inhale and then a slow exhale. And maybe moving that down to the shoulders, one shoulder at a time. Just a little massage. Oh, this one really needs it. Moving to our upper arms. The lower arm. Just kind of feeling that awakening the body by the massage brings the blood flow, brings tingling. Finding the areas that right here. where does that, I'm kind of moving my shoulder around and massaging my scapula. Good morning, Jenny. Jenny's arrived. Kathy, get your hands back on your body. No kidding. And then just letting it kind of big sigh, closing down the eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just turning your attention to the shifts now in that part of your body where you did some massage. Feeling the tingling still. Letting the eyebrows soften. Letting the eyeballs relax into their sockets. Letting the cheekbones relax. The jaw maybe falling open a little bit. With your tongue on the bottom of your mouth or tucking into the top of your mouth so that your jaw is not closed. And being in silence for 30 seconds. And if your mind starts racing or you feel like you need to start painting, see if you can challenge yourself and resist the urge. Putting the brush down, going inward. And staying with your eyes closed, I'm going to read you the poem called The Living Doubleness. I ask my heart, why do you keep looking for delights of love? I hear the answer back, why will you not join me in this companionship? This is the conversation of being a human being, the living doubleness. Cool and in motion like water, placed and passionate like fire. Subtle as wind, yet obvious as a wine glass poured to the brim, spilled over and drunk down all at once for a toast. Like rain, you make any image more vivid. Like a mirror, you can be trusted to hold beauty. There are mean people who see only meanness reflected in you, but they are wrong. You are pure soul and made of the ground. You are eye shadow and the kindness in eye light. A ruby from no telling which mine. Let yourself be set in a seal ring. Lift the sword, discernment, that rules 1,000 compassions. Shams in the lovely shape of shams, spring source of invisible meaning. I'll read this again. I ask my heart, why do you keep looking for delights of love? I hear the answer back, why will you not join me in this companionship? This is the conversation of being a human being, the living doubleness. Cool and in motion like water, placed and passionate like fire. Subtle as wind, yet obvious as a wine glass poured to the brim, spilled over and drunk down all at once for a toast. Like rain, you make any image more vivid. Like a mirror, you can be trusted to hold beauty. There are mean people who see only meanness reflected in you, but they are wrong. You are pure soul and made of the ground. You are eye shadow and the kindness in eye light. A ruby from no telling which mine. Let yourself be set in a seal ring. Lift the sword, discernment, that rules 1,000 compassions. And if you haven't already, you can open your eyes and we'll begin drawing. Today is October 11th. Beginning your circle with an in-breath and closing it on an out-breath. Or circling over and over and over. And putting whatever interests you into the middle. There are so many nuggets in that poem. Like just two sentences could be like something you could ponder all day. SEAL. Yes, McLean said, what kind of ring? SEAL, yes. Let yourself be set in a seal ring. Jenny says, hi, folkies, with 3 white hearts. And Kathy's saying, Jenny. Jenny says, Kathy. Emojis with hearts. It's nice that you're here, Jenny. So I've been playing with a new paint color, which is silver. And it's like really silvery, and it's quite fun. Quite fun. I only have had a silver pen, gel pen, so this is really different. I also, a friend of mine is an artist, and she, her Instagram handle is Moss Princess, and so she does Moss October, and she gives a prompt every day. So I decided I'll try it, and I am painting things I've never painted before, and it's been really a stretch for me. It's like they forced me to slow down and maybe like look at things differently, or get an image, from the internet or outside and explore that. So I'm really having fun with that. I'm not giving myself you have to do every day, because I can spend 2 hours on one of these because I'm just really slow. But I like the exploration and the fun. Yeah, Miss M says Mosstober. That's exactly what she calls it. Yep. In fact, remember, for those of you who went to the very first retreat, I handed out stickers. That's the artist. And so she posts other people's art based on whatever the thing is today. 2 days ago, it was dragon, and I'm still working on my dragon. Tide pool was one. Microscopic was one. So different words, prompts, I guess you would call them. Yeah. But it's fun to, at least so far, it's fun. I'm like, well, how do you draw that? I don't know. Stretches me. I gotta stop itching it. Kirby has settled down. So for those of you who are Case for Making fans, I read that their main supplier, because of changes in businesses, is no longer their supplier. So I don't know where they're going to get their paints. They even had a pending order that was canceled. So that's sad. That's where we're experiencing, I think, changes. Obviously, they're not affecting our livelihood like some changes are for some people. Miss Sim says, must get back there soon. Yeah. I went back there the day I left the Bay Area a week ago. Today's Saturday, a week ago, Sunday, and got some more. So I feel happy about that. So I don't think I need anything else. In fact, I created a new traveling palette that's pretty much all their paints because I really like I really liked them. Like I'm such an expert. But it doesn't matter. If you like it, right? That's all that counts. So when I was on my little solo retreat up in Northern California last week, I ran into, I'm going to call him a ranger just because I don't know what his title was. It wasn't a park, a state park or national park. So I don't think that really was his title. Anyway, we had a lovely conversation. And he told me about the California Naturalist Program. And I think there's one in every state. So I don't think this is just to California. And it's like you take 40 hours of training in an ecosystem near you, and then you can become like a docent or a volunteer for tours for children in school groups, or to be at a park or a conservancy, or for me, I've got the wetlands out here. So I am exploring that. I would love that. I think that just sounds so fascinating to learn about the ecosystem of where I live and then teach that to others and be in it. Of course, my favorite would be the redwoods, but it's hard to do training up there since I live down here. It can be a dream one day, though. Cheryl says, you are the best expert of what you like. That is so true. And we know what we like, and that makes us an expert in that. That is very true. And hi, Cheryl. I don't even know when you came in. You know, before we could see who joined, but now we can stealthily join. I'm glad you're here. The nice part of my down day yesterday is I made a soup, and I would call it the pantry soup because pantry, most of it was vegetables, so it was from the fridge, but man, it came out so good. I was like, what do I have in the fridge? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit. That was very yummy. Oh, Kathy's words are already here. Oh, it's later than I thought. Kathy's words are placed and passionate. Cheryl says, discovered a Redwood Grove pocket park the other day. It's a few blocks away for the next time you visit. Ooh, close to you. Nice. I love those little groves that are they're just hidden gems in urban areas. I stayed with my friend in Los Altos. I found one too. It was delightful. Like the people's backyards. Butted up against this little grove. Pretty fascinating. Well, I will be up again. That is for sure. Welcome. Good afternoon, evening, Susanna. She's just passing by, she says. I'm glad you're just passing by and come in and you check in on us so that we can say hi to you. It's a nice surprise for us, a nice gift. Kathy says, hi, Susanna. This is interesting. I don't know what it is yet, but a part of me thinks it's like looking into the earth. So you got the oceans up here, and then you're going inside. I don't know. That's what it kind of feels like. It may shift. Charlene says, embracing friends, help, and calm. Those sound really nice. And you're embracing them. Susanna says, hi, Kathy and all. With hearts. Miss Em is giving you a hug, Susanna. Kathy says, those colors, Pamela. Oh, these colors, Kathy. Oh my gosh, I'm like in heaven. Let's see. That one's tangerine, that one's turmeric, and then that green one is like yellowish green earth. But it's like this yummy green that just... Miss M says, full moon doubleness. Oh, did I say full moon in there? I don't even remember reading that word. Huh. Remember the rain and the wind. It just made me think of the duality, and how we separate from our heart. Why do we look outside? Why don't we go inside? Join in the companionship. I don't know. This is my new travel, but my new everything, Charlene. I went to Case for Making, and then I also splurged. And look at this, Charlene. Is this like look at this. It's so tiny, but look inside. Look at that. There's so many colors in there. So I feel like these two, I have everything I need. Everything. Because I can mix and yeah. I'm in heaven. Oh, my mandala is like the moon. Oh, full moon doubleness. I hadn't thought about that one since we just had a full moon. Miss M says, love those paints. Miss M says, no, yeah, okay. Susanna said, things are so much better for me. I have tears of joy today. Mama's liver is now functioning at 35%. I'm so happy for that. She's getting better. That's huge. She's got a chance now. Kathy says, such amazing news, Susanna. Oh, like, right? You can breathe a sigh of relief. Jenny says, that's great, Susanna. And we'll keep thinking about her. Elaine says, wow, Susanna, that is such great news. Yeah. Any other words for your creations today? Cheryl says, wonderful news, Susanna. Well, our time is up for today. I'm so glad that you got to hear my voice. um, although the Silent Tuesday was kind of cool. Maybe every now and then I'm just going to do it. It's a different perspective when we all have silence. I remember you all hearing things in your own environment that you tune out when you're listening to my voice. But not that often. I won't do it that often. Happy Saturday, Kathy says to everyone. Thank you, thank you. Hugs. Purple heart, says Elaine. Bye all.